In 100 years, I think Christ Church, I think it will be a place where everybody is free to pray and practice their religion.
I think church will be even better than it is today.
Each generation is the steward of a sacred baton. Each of us has our own set of time, talents, and treasure to offer. My prayer is that these words from Matthew 25:21 could be spoken on that future day. Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
Hello, I am Harrison McLeod, and I am the 20th rector of Christ Church here in Greenville, South Carolina. And it's somewhat of an interesting honor to be talking to you today. So I hope you are all well, and that Christ Church continues to thrive and be a place of healing and hope. The reason that we decided a time capsule would be valuable was we had read in the vestry minutes from 100 years ago that there was a time capsule placed behind the cornerstone at the northeast corner of the church. And so we were very excited as we contemplated celebrating the Bicentennial to dig up the time capsule, open it up. We have a list in the archives, which I hope you have access to, the contents of that time capsule. As we thought about that, we thought, well, how interesting would it be for us to recreate that, to offer a time capsule to the future, give you a feel for and some insight into what was the life of the church like in 2022. What were our hopes, what were our dreams, what were our aspirations, memories and hopes and aspirations that will give you a real sense of what your ancestors' lives were like.
A fire station. I think it's gonna have a new cross.
And the future church is gonna be like people in boxes that's gonna fly around, and then the church people are gonna be in like a cross box and just gonna fly around. In 100 years, I think Christ Church is gonna be like this really, really, really high-tech church that's gonna be like having a lot of dining halls for the loaves and fishes.
We're gonna talk about God.
I think Christ Church is going to be a better school and a good place.
I think it's gonna be crumbly. It's gonna have new doors. I think that there will be like floating chairs, and there's holograms of Jesus doing his things.
In 100 years, I think Christ Church will be an empty lot. It would have plants all over it.
Christ Church is gonna be like math and learning about stuff in school and doing science.
I think Christ Church in 100 years would be covered in vines, leaves, and covered in everything.
More learning about church.
I think the church will be a baseball field with the cross at the top.
I think it will be a place where everybody is free to pray and practice their religion. Spiderwebs all over it. A hotel with grandmas.
I think church will be even better than it is today.
I hope that the next 100 years are as successful as the first 200 years.
My hope for Christ Church is that it is not just an empty lot, but that we are still a vibrant place where people come to be fed, to feed others, and to pray together and worship together.
My hope for Christ Church over the next 100 years is that we will continue to be inviting to all, and that people in the Greenville community will know that Christ Church cares and that we are a Christ-centered place of worship and activity and learning. And I hope that my great-great-grandchildren will be here too.
And my prayer is that the people of Christ Church continue to look at the Greenville community and see the needs of the community and address them, that they do something about those needs.
My hope for Christ Church is that our church will be known in Greenville as the church that is inviting to all, welcoming to all, and that our parishioners are fully engaged in the life of our church to serve others in our church and in the Greenville community.
My hope for the future of Christ Church is that we continue to grow in our outreach ministries and continue to grow the programs within our church that provide for our youth and our family ministries.
To love God, to serve God, to teach God to the future generations.
I think that we will continue to be a leader in the community and in terms of giving back and helping others.
My hope for Christ Church in the future is that it and we become more and more a place that looks like the kingdom of God.
I think Christ Church will be much bigger in 100 years. We'll be involved in dozens of charities that will help thousands of people all around the world.
I hope that our great-grandchildren will be just as eager as we are to obey the two great commandments, to love God with all our heart, strength, and mind, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And I hope that that love will be so infectious that Christ Church will multiply into many more faith communities. I'm not worried about the future because I believe God is sovereign. He's got the whole world in his hands. As we read in Jeremiah chapter 29, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." So I look forward to the future, and I hope that you will too.
There is an aspect of this parish which really is astounding to me, that back in 1852, when this construction was begun here, when the church that I worship in was built, it seated 675 people at a time when Greenville only had 11,000. And so for a community of Episcopalians to sort of dream about the future in 1852 and decide to build a church that seats 675, which is way out of proportion to the number of Episcopalians typically found in 11,000 people, tells me they really had a lot of hope for the future. And I hope we've lived into that hope, and I hope that you all have lived into our hope. It's been a privilege being the rector of this parish and taking this pilgrimage. I've been here for 14 years now, and come to know these people and love these people, and it's a wonderful parish, and I hope it continues to thrive and be a real place of hope and healing. And it's been a joy being a part of that.